Now to figure skating's night of nights now, with two French girls ranked in the top 5 after Thursday's original programs. It was standing room only at the Olympic Ice Hall for the free programs. But to get us underway, one of the two Japanese skaters.
On the ice, Yuka Sato of Tokyo, Japan, who turned 19 a week ago, was the very first skater in the original program. And when 29 skaters were through, Yuka Sato was a surprising 7th place. Remember that the Dunfields guided Liz Manley to that sensational silver in 1988, and here they are again. And they've helped Yuka Sato to a surprisingly high finish after the original program here.
Well, I think Yuka also has to be very pleased with the position and also surprised at where she is sitting right now in 7th spot. But I think as well as what happened to Anna Sett, she skated a very clean original program where others made mistakes, and that's why she is where she is.
As we watch this performance, watch the speed at which she moves. She's perhaps one of the fastest skating competitors in this field.
Paul, one of the reasons for that is she practiced with Midori Ito, and she noted that in Ito's practices and learned from it.
she had planned, but she performed 4 of them. But I think the biggest thing here was the fact that she was having fun out there. That was what really got me.
Well, Barb, her speed caught my eye in the original program, but here tonight, what caught my eye was her musical interpretation. I thought the slow sections were beautifully skated, lightly interpreted, and yet when the music changed to a fast, upbeat section, she was right on top of it, demonstrating once again the speed that we saw in the original program.
Great delegation of Japanese fans to cheer her on, and of course they're anticipating Midori Ito's skate a little bit later.
Here's a look at a triple toe loop that she did do. Good height in the air and a nice extension on the landing. The only triples she didn't do were the triple lutz and the triple loop. Here's a look at the triple loop. Oh, she did do this triple loop. That was a nice one. Later on, she did do a single loop.
'90 World Junior Champion.
It's worth noting that because of Midori's placement last year at the World Championships, the Japanese were only allowed to send 2 skaters here, and the only team allowed to send 3 was the Americans because of their sweep of the podium.
First set of marks range from 5.3 up to 5.7 for Yuka Sato. We mentioned the other night that her father was a 10-time Japanese men's champion, her mother a 2-time Japanese women's champion. They both competed in the Olympics, although she said they never forced me to skate. In fact, she has a brother who does not skate.
5.3, 5.3, 5.7, 5.4. Second mark.
When Peter Dunfield asked her what she liked about skating, she said she liked the sweat and the hard work, which I know is why you and Paul used to skate, Barb.
Always.
Second set of marks, a little bit higher, so that is the top mark we've seen so far. Yuka Sato with first place marks from 7 of the 9 judges for the long program, and she is the leader overall. We'll be back in Albertville after this. Well, she was 9th after the original at the World Junior Championships, but was absolutely magnificent in the long program, skating from 9th to 3rd to win the bronze medal. She's a 2-time World Junior bronze medalist.
She's opening with the triple lutz jump. Very strong.
Keep in mind while you're watching Lou that she's just 15 years of age.
Very nice triple toe, double toe combination.
What I've really noticed over the last year with Lou is the fact that she has really turned into a very mature, young skater. And although last year she had the jumps, she still has the jumps this year, but she has a program and a real presence on the ice.
Nice triple loop jump. When she gets these jumps down, they're very pretty to watch. They're very sharp, very crisp in rotation, and with her leg line, they really finish nicely. She goes into another triple Lutz, followed by a double toe. It must be noted that in the long program, a triple jump cannot be repeated unless it is in a combination.
Well, she was 12th at her first World Championship, and Lu Chen appears destined to improve on that here. And once again, the long program was outstanding.
Wow, what a program that was. Not only did she perform 6 difficult triples very well, but it was a program. It was all around very, very well done. And she's just a joy to watch.
And the only triple she didn't execute was a triple axel, but the thing that really drew my eye to her is the fact that this girl at the age of 15 has a wonderful ability to interpret music. She is able to go out there and really feel the music that she's skating to. Here we're looking at her triple toe, double toe combination. Another triple jump, a triple Lutz jump. Nice, tight. Look where the arms are crossed neatly across her chest. Very important. It goes right back up into a double toe.
Well, she was in tears after her performance in Munich, but a gorgeous smile here for Lu Chen, along with her coach Lee Min-Zhu, and they're delighted with the technical marks that are coming up. 5-7 from the unified team judge, but a great set of first marks for the youngster from Changchun in northeast China. 2-time Chinese champion. Her father's a hockey player, and her mother a national level table tennis player, so they've got all the sports covered.
Well, I'd have to say that the artistic marks will be at least this high, because she was just as proficient in the artistic area, I thought, as the technical area.
Well, I'm a little surprised. They are about the same, and in fact, just a little bit down from there, but she does have 5 first-place marks for the long program, and Lu Chen is second right now behind Sato of Japan. Well, they tell us that the name Yamaguchi translates to mountain mouse. Well, Kristi Yamaguchi is on the verge of conquering Olympic gold in the French Alps. Here's the leader. And if you wonder what's riding on this skate, not only an Olympic medal, but there are estimates that an American woman could make $10 million if they win Olympic gold here. So there's a lot at stake for Kristi Yamaguchi.
Kristi's opening with a triple Lutz double toe. Triple Lutz triple toe, gorgeous.
Kristi was in the driver's seat coming out of the original program by placing first. And with a strong skate here, she can remain there because she will force the balance of this field to chase her as she's the first to skate of the contenders in this last flight.
height of her jumps, and she says that that is due to the fact that she has been doing a lot of weight training back home.
A very nice split flip right into a triple toe. Nice combination.
This is the part that I love about Kristi's skating, all the little subtleties that Sandra Bezic has incorporated into this routine. For Kristi. She was skating an absolutely clean program and unfortunately missed the triple loop and doubled on the triple sow cow.
Although she had the difficulty with the triple loop and elected to do a double sow as opposed to the triple sow, the thing that I like about this performance is the fact that I never sat here on edge. She put me into a relaxed frame of mind, let me sit back and enjoy the performance, and to me, that's a quality of a true champion.
Well, she's been that way all week. Since she's been here in practice, she comes out and looks as though there's no way she's going to miss. She's just so consistent.
This is one of the triple lutzes that she executed beautifully. This is the one with the combination. Triple lutz, triple toe. It's so important for Kristi to get these in. Here's her triple flip. Again, you see the importance of tight feet and tight arms in the air because she doesn't have a triple axel, even though the competitors that will attempt them, Ito and Harding, are in a position where they really are going to have to skate very, very well if they hope or have any aspirations of catching Kristi.
Well, Kristi, style-wise, is just so far ahead, I think, of Ito and Harding that should make up for the fact that she doesn't have a triple axel.
One of the ironies was 4 or 5 years ago, she was known as the jumper up against artists like Jill Trenery, but perhaps she's going to be recognized as a complete skater. There is the first set, 5-7s. And 5-8s. Room there for someone to challenge, but it's going to take a great skate to beat Kristi Yamaguchi.
I think the second set of marks will come up a little bit.
Oh, there they are. Did they ever come up? 5-9s, except from the Japanese judge at 5-8 for Kristi Yamaguchi. Wearing gold already, and she might be wearing more gold before the evening is over. We've talked a lot about Kristi Yamaguchi and a lot about Midori Ito. Almost the forgotten skater is Nancy Kerrigan of the United States, last year's bronze medalist at the World Championships, second after the short program. Remember, her clubmate Paul Wiley has already won an Olympic silver in the men's event. Nancy has a history of skating well in the short, but she admits that she's had trouble in the long, so this will be a personal test.
Nancy is skating to Born on the 4th of July.
And if anything can be said about Nancy here at the games, that she's been quietly going about her business and getting it done very well. She did a nice original program, opens with a nice double axel, and has skated consistently in practice the whole time she's been here.
She opens with a gorgeous triple flip.
That was to have been a triple toe attempt. The first triple toe went very well, and it looks like she didn't get her toe planted correctly to complete the second jump in the combination.
Nancy, along with Kristi, is one of the more complete skaters. She has a very nice program, very nice style and look about her, but she will need the triples. She still has a triple Lutz planned in the program. Here's the triple Lutz. Oh, and she's singled. That's very unfortunate.
Very nice triple loop that she just executed. And the two jumps that she has missed, the triple toe in the combination and the triple Lutz, appeared to be caused by the fact that she rushed. She didn't allow herself to properly plant her picking toe.
Well, a rough finale for Nancy Kerrigan after a great start. And now the question is not whether she has challenged Kristi Yamaguchi, but whether she's consolidated her medal position.
Well, I fear for the fact that both Midori and Surya still have to skate and have programs which from the outset are far more technically difficult than the one we've just seen here from Nancy, could result in her slipping from her second place position that she's in right now. Here was one of the triples she did do very nicely, triple flip jump. Little late in the breakout, but still hung on to complete it successfully. Here we're seeing her execute a wally into a triple toe. And that's the one that gave her difficulty about 2/3 of the way through the performance.
When Nancy does combine the triples with the rest of her program, she is a very complete skater, and that was what got her a medal last year at the World Championships. However, she does need the triples. She didn't do them all here tonight, and I think she has just opened up the door for either Surya or Midori to come through.
Surya Bonaly now on the ice warming up, and a very nervous Nancy Kerrigan awaiting her marks. She said yesterday, "This is where I have trouble. I've never done everything I planned." And that was again the case. There are the marks, 5.6 is a 5.3 from the British judge for her technical marks.
Well, I do expect her next set of marks to come up a little bit because she certainly is a very beautiful lady to watch on the ice.
Evie and Mary Scott fold the coaches, and I'm sure their stay in Albertville has been more than pleasant, even with Nancy's problems here tonight. The second set, predictably, goes much higher, and she has second place marks from 8 of the 9 judges. The British judge has seated Nancy Kerrigan 4th, but right now her medal position is somewhat precarious.
Welcome back. Coming up in just a moment, the performance of all France has been waiting to see. Surya Bonaly's free skate at the Ice Hall. Lots of pressure on her, of course, and even so, more so behind the scenes. Surya, as you're about to learn, is very much a mummy's girl, and that has caused plenty of problems.
AMP, proudly bringing you Profile of an Olympian.
They all start out the same, clutching the side of the rink, shuffling cautiously, making sure mom is nearby to catch them before they fall. And this is a story about a mom who's been standing perhaps a bit too close to her adopted child. The child, 18-year-old Surya Bonaly, stunned the skating world with her explosive jumps at the 1991 European Championships. Spinning off triple after triple, she won the gold and gave France its youngest figure skating champion ever. Although she's coached by Didier and Annick Gaillaguet, she is managed and controlled by her formidable mother, Suzanne.
The mother is really a charming woman. She does everything for the girl on and off the ice, sews the costumes, takes her to training, and chooses the music. She'd like to be Surya's coach, and that is the problem.
She always did what, we hoped she would do. Pushing her, giving her confidence, and she's a problem because she thinks she knows what figure skating is. If she thinks she knows, good for her. I don't.
There are people who find that I am too much with my mother. They know that I am very strong, and together with her we do all the work, and they criticize this.
This is our way of living. We are a close family.
A close family that leads a Zen Buddhist way of living. Suzanne and husband Georges adopted Surya when she was 3 months old. Surya's natural parents are from the island of Reunion, off the African coast.
I only wanted a colored child because I knew how difficult it is for them to be adopted.
They raised and educated Surya at home on their farm, surrounded by an array of animals. They discovered Surya was a natural and fearless athlete who took to tumbling so well that she won some championships. Then the figure skating world took notice.
She was powerful, and she wanted to improve very quickly. And, we were quite hard for the last 5 years, and I think it showed for a while.
It showed until last fall's La Ligue Trophy competition in Albertville, where Surya seemed to fall apart. Suzanne, who set a precedent by wearing a coach's credentials, was part of the entourage at rinkside.
How can she handle the pressure and also 4 people at rinkside who are all talking at her at the same time? Who does she listen to?
So someone who doesn't know the situation could wonder who is the coach if he enters the ice rink when Madame Bonaly is giving advice to Surya.
This is getting really tiring. And I'm starting to be a little fed up.
And Didier is also fed up with the many exhibitions Suzanne has Surya performing.
It seems to me that there are too much going for the publicity and the money before the Olympics, and this is, to me, the biggest mistake we're doing now.
It is important for my public to have good publicity, and also I think it is important to accept for my career.
They want the publicity, of course, and everything that goes with it, but they want to preserve their, as I said, their self, their tribe at the same time. They want everything.
And for Surya, wanting and achieving everything would be near impossible without Madame Bonaly by her side.
I could do it without her, but she helps me a lot. I need her. If there comes a time when I've had enough, I will tell her, and I will be free.
For Surya's coaches, that moment won't come soon enough.
And just before Surya came onto the ice for this, the most important night of her life, there was again an altercation between her mother and her coach over which of them would stand closest to the ice while she skates. So the pressure is really on.
Paul, we might see the quad tonight. She was practicing it this morning and in warm-up, and she was going to make the decision after warm-up tonight.
Well, she landed a nice one in practice this morning. I didn't see her land it in the warm-up earlier, but she is planning to do the quad, the first jump in the program.
And that would indeed be Olympic history.
Again, like in Munich last year, it did have a cheat on the end of it. It wasn't quite fully rotated. And that triple Lutz certainly does not help her medal hopes here.
Well, one of the things that Surya has received a large degree of criticism about is her artistic aspect of her skating. What I find somewhat interesting out here this evening is that in this performance, she's elected to portray a toreador, which traditionally has been a male role. And in women's figure skating, I find that somewhat interesting.
Her triple flip. I just wonder, with those two mistakes now, can she hold a medal position? artistically in the air, but still, she is a little bit rough around the edges. Her entrances into her jumps are very cautious, but overall, I think she probably is very pleased with that performance.
And not only are the entrances to her jumps cautious, but there's quite often so very little flow coming out of any of them, and that's one of the things that's paramount on the judge's scorecard, the amount of flow you carry into a jump, the amount of flow you carry out of a jump. And for Surya, it's something that isn't there yet, and we can only hope that she can develop that if she has any serious aspirations about becoming a serious contender in this event. The thing that I find somewhat confusing here is a lack of direction in terms of priorities. I think we're going to look at her attempted quad, which to me is something that she continues to strive for, but I think she pays a price. It definitely was cheated. There's at least a good quarter turn cheat. Here we see her coach, Didier Cagaway, who obviously is delighted at the fact that that was probably his reaction during the quad attempt.
That's Didier at his more restrained.
And here's her problem with the triple lutz. It looked like she was leaning forward in the air position and just couldn't get the free leg through on the landing.
You know, though, when you consider what the Duchenes went through and admitted that they'd never been under such intense pressure, here's an 18-year-old with by no means the experience of the Duchenes, almost under as much pressure. They took her to Grenoble to train the last few weeks, and even there they had almost 1,000 people a day watching her practice. So the expectations in France for her are tremendous, and so is the pressure. And all in all, an 18-year-old kid's handled it pretty well.
Very well.
Well, there are the marks. The British judge at 5-1. Canadian Mary Pearson 5-4. There are 4 5-7s on the board. So a real mix here and a medal possibility in jeopardy.
5-7, 5-6, 5-7, 5-4, 5-7, 5-1, 5-6. Second mark.
Two-time European champion. Second set, and look at the difference in marks again. 5 3s, but a 5-8 from the French judge. They rate her 4th for the long program behind Yamaguchi, Kerrigan, and Chen. And overall, Bonaly is 3rd at the moment, with Yamaguchi and Kerrigan still leading the way. But the medal is in jeopardy because Midori Ito is still to come, and Tonya Harding's next. When we the world silver medalist in Munich last year. Despite landing only 4 of 8 triple jumps, she'll need the full complement here because Tonya Harding is in 6th place after the original program.
Well, the thing about Tonya that's perhaps most disturbing is the fact that if she misses her triple axel in this program, she gives you the feeling that she gives up on the balance of the program. It's like if she doesn't hit the axle, there's no point in continuing with the rest of the performance. So I think that's something we're going to have to look for here this evening, whether she hits the triple axle and what her attitude is from that point on.
She has been struggling with it like Midori Ito in practice, but she landed a really nice one in the warm-up prior to this skate. Good opening triple lutz. And here comes the triple axel.
Barb, she's just done the same thing that she's been having the problem with consistently throughout her time here. She's sitting back on that triple axel. She needs to step up into it if she wants to complete it. Now it'll be interesting to see whether she gets determined with this program or just simply skates it out.
triple axel. Tonight she did not do the triple axel, but I think she needs that in order to compete with somebody like Kristi Yamaguchi, because she just doesn't have the complete package like Kristi or Nancy Kerrigan even has.
Well, artistically, this is not a program that compares with either Kristi or Nancy Kerrigan for that matter. Here we're looking at one of the triples she did very well, a triple Lutz, which she opened the performance with. Try and get her feet underneath her for her attempt at the triple axel. It sets up, and I think you're going to see, she sits back. She needs to get over it. She develops a lean in the air. Right side is down, and she needs that. That's her skating side. She's going to land on her right foot. She needs her right side up in order to support her body upon landing.
Paul, in our preview of this event last night, we had her miss the triple axel in the exact same way. And that was the story of the week for her.
She certainly struggled with it throughout practice, and it didn't seem to matter whether she was more aggressive into it or less aggressive into it. She definitely couldn't get on top of it here this week.
It's been a rocky year. Marital problems, coaching problems, an ankle injury plagued her U.S. Nationals, where she was third, and her life really has been an open book for the U.S. press. And in fact, here she even had to dwell and deny a story that suggested she might be pregnant. So it's just been one thing after another for her, and the focus on skating hasn't been there. Notice that the top two American women wearing gold, hoping that they have something to match a little bit later tonight. But coming from sixth, I know Tonya wasn't expecting gold. First set of marks for Harding, 5-3 from the Danish judge, 5-4 from the British judge, but up to 5-7 from the judge from the unified team.
I was impressed by the fact that she did, after the triple axel, attack the balance of the program. She laid in some very nice triple jumps and pushed it through to the end.
Tomboy, who she lifts weight, she can rebuild a car engine, she drag races.
I have to say that Tonya is one of the more gutsy skaters. She really attacks every jump that she tries.
Here's the second set of marks, and a real variety on the board, but she does have 4 third-place marks. She's third in the long program, and she's moved ahead of Bonaly for the time being into third place. So the Americans, as in Munich, are 1, 2, 3.
On the ice.
Midori Ito,
Japan.
A program, if skated clean, is scheduled that could rival the men we watched a week ago. And she said she was going to come out tonight with renewed confidence. And Barb, we almost had a glimpse of that smile you suggested in the opening.
I did see that smile, and actually we saw it on warm-up. She looked very sharp on warm-up, almost a look at the Midori we saw earlier in the week.
Brian Boitano says she's a home run skater, but she needs a grand slam here.
Well, she's got 2 very difficult combinations to open with. She opens with the triple Lutz triple toe combination, and then onto the triple axel triple toe combination, which has given her such difficulties this week.
I would have to say, with that missed triple axel, it really puts this whole discussion of this jump into perspective. We haven't seen one executed here at this competition, and I think the pressure that it has put on the shoulders of both Midori and Tonya has really come to the forefront here.
And she comes back with a gorgeous triple flip double toe loop. can't believe she tried another one, and she did it. That was gorgeous.
Now she's smiling.
That was not a planned jump. She had planned a triple flip in there and decided to go for it and throw in another triple axel. Now that is a gutsy skater. Triple axel all week, to miss it in the warm-up last night, change to the triple lutz, and then come out tonight, fall, and try it again and land it.
She may be too far away for gold, but that triple axel might have meant silver for Midori Ito.
Well, not only is it a gutsy move, Barbara, this is obviously a well-conditioned skater. She attempted that jump at the 3-minute, 10-second mark of a 4-minute program, and to think that at that point she felt good enough to even attempt it speaks for itself. Here we see it in replay. I'm sorry, that's the first one. You're right. That's the one she had difficulty on, and that took place in the first minute. Here we're going to look at the one she did execute.
Look at the height that she gets. Wow. And there's the smile.
That big wave a few moments ago was for the large Japanese delegation who are cheering her on. Mashiko Yamada is her coach and has been since she was 5 years old. Midori skated up to her on a rink, and Mrs. Yamada said she saw a future champion.
Well, certainly a much more mature-looking Midori since the last games in Calgary. She's really come a ways artistically and has developed a real sense of herself on the ice, not just in her jumps.
Now, to win gold, she must win the long program, and someone else, and there's only one other person who can do it, Letitia Hubert, must finish ahead of Kristi Yamaguchi. But if she finishes first or second in the long program, Midori will win the silver medal.
Well, I found the performance to be a little bit like a roller coaster. I felt so disappointed for her at the beginning when she fell, but then she just kept continually picking it up and picking it up to an unbelievable climax.
Technical marks, they're better than Yamaguchi's, 5 8s and 9s, except for the British judge at 5-6.
Well, the one triple she didn't do was a triple lutz. In the very opening combination, she did a double lutz triple toe combination, whereas Kristi performed 2 triple lutzes.
I find it amazing. She did her first triple combination at the age of 12. Victor Petrenko wasn't doing that last year. Now the artistic marks go down, and she has 2 first-place marks, 6 second-place marks, and a third-place mark from the British judge. But overall, Midori Ito has jumped from 4th to 2nd. So it's Yamaguchi winning the gold medal. Ito 2nd, Nancy Kerrigan is 3rd, and Tonya Harding is now 4th.
A big-hearted effort, as you would expect from Midori Ito. The British judge very, very severe in the figure skating. Picks up the silver, and Nancy Kerrigan of the USA has got the bronze. Okay, as we return to the Olympic Ice Hall, a great moment for the 5th American woman to win this figure skating gold medal, and the first since Dorothy Hamill at Innsbruck in 1976.
Olympic champion,
Kristi Yamaguchi, États-Unis d'Amérique.
United States of America.
From Fremont, California, and Edmonton, Alberta, Kristi Yamaguchi, Olympic gold medalist.
Well, I'm sure Kurt Browning is sitting at home now watching this, and he must be saying to himself, or at least have a good feeling inside about having sat Kristi down and telling her, I can be world champion. Now she's not only world champion, but Olympic champion as well.
I was speaking to her coach yesterday, Kristi Yamaguchi, and she said throughout the year, Kristi wasn't really gearing towards a gold medal. She knew that when Midori was on, she would be really tough to beat. She just wanted to come here and skate well, and she said that if she won the gold, it would really be a bonus.
How about Kristi Ness at the 88 games? She met her husband, and at the 92 games, she coaches a gold medalist.
Midori Ito, Japon.
Well, a very popular silver medalist, Midori Ito. Boy, she had some trials and tribulations here, but she showed great courage tonight. And that triple axel, after missing it once, perhaps ensured silver.
Well, of all the ladies that skated here this evening, this is the one that the skating fraternity wanted to see skate well. She struggled. She's a charming lady, and to see her come out here tonight and deliver the performance that she did really makes everyone in the skating world feel really good.
One of the comments about both Yamaguchi and Ito from the skating world that was that both were so nice and both were so likable that they didn't want to see either one lose. And she signals those Japanese fans again. The expectation's so high, and I'm sure she's just glad the pressure's finally off.
Bronze medal.
Kerrigan.
As she was at the World Championships, the bronze medalist is Nancy Kerrigan of Stoneham, Massachusetts.
And I would think as much of a thrill this has been for Nancy, her two coaches, Mary and Evie Scoppold, have got to be just delighted with Paul Wiley's silver medal in the men's event, and now Nancy taking bronze here in the ladies' event. It certainly has been a wonderful 2 weeks for those skaters and their coaches.
Paul, it's interesting, in Munich, the organizers didn't have 3 American flags. They never anticipated the sweep. And I smiled when Nancy had an American flag with her in the kiss and cry after the original program. She was going to make sure they had a flag for her here.
So Kristi Yamaguchi, the gold medalist at the '92 Olympics. Okay, from